in my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is going to be quite a show. Yes, you are going to get Sassy J here at times because I have had it up to here. Don't forget locals. The sheriff, who has yet to speak about any of the threats going on to one of his constituent teenagers with autism who's missing life. Threats and ransoms, no comment. I just want you all to know he did make a comment during that time to the budget committee asking for his raise. And the budget committee meets at 6:30 tonight. If you're local, it would be great. Go, let them know. Say Sebastian's name. Be pleasant, be friendly. Just remind them Sebastian Rogers with a flyer, with a sign, with a t-shirt. The vote will be July 28th at 6:30 p.m. Do you think he deserves a raise? Look what he's doing to a father of a missing child. In my opinion, he acts like Katie, the DA, that you could run against Craddock and the DA. I mean, definitely the DA. Oh, you got Snarky J today. You don't hurt a father who's looking for a child. You don't ignore ransoms and threats and never say a darn word or never even inquire. Okay? And I wish Seth could move to the county and run against that mouse. So because it says, I didn't expect this from you. I have the right to unalive your son, even if you send me money, but I want peace. Now, the reason I say I wonder if it's a continuation is because when the first person, which we shared with you, Mindy, came on and shared everything she went through and how the order and what she received it. Hey, Sam. I didn't expect this from you. So when that went on, you knew that they couldn't get, at night was right on top of it. Okay. It's like Seth mentioned yesterday, 2 people going to other countries. Yes, that indeed, I've been telling you guys that. It's true. Okay, they were on it. They were ready to fund the reward, anything to save Sebastian's life. They were trying to get things in place. They could not get, well, they didn't tell us the IP address, Twitch. They didn't give us that info. Mess around. But they had people on planes. I'm sure they know. Because when the ransom demand came in, they obviously figured it out because they had people on planes. I'm assuming one to go find him and one to the locations, or several to the locations where he said Sebastian would be. Several to the locations where he said Sebastian would be. They don't mess around, and I'm being serious. They really don't mess around. The ransom is very real. Yes, thank you, Pamela. Yes, the ransom is real. If you recall and that's another thing. So I didn't expect this from you could be taken in one way. He's back responding now. He fled. He's back responding now, and his response begins with, I didn't expect this from you, because they were playing hardball. You don't mess with a child. And I have the right to unalive your son. So we know he's talking to one of the parents. So in this instance, I think it's Seth. In this perspective, even if you send me the money, but I want peace. Meaning, I want the money, I want the peace. And if I unalive him, I won't get that. Tragedy on his hands is disgusting. And yes, let me get to the thumbnail before we get going. Seth announces in here that KP and CP have faith. And they're at Disney. And during this, she was eating ice cream because, he's got At Night in them. They're watching because, lo and behold, you really think that the other one is Sumner? They probably don't even know 2 of their people are out of town. They probably don't even care. I'm married and you're not the person but he said it so well. I like the way he put that. You're not the person I married and you're not the person I divorced. I don't know who you are. His pain, he's shouldering the burden alone. I feel so badly for him. But he said it so well. I like the way he put that. You're not the person I married and you're not the person I divorced. I don't know who you are. His pain, he's shouldering the burden alone, because when you have a child, there's usually 2. And imagine she won't help. And boy, like he said, she shouldn't be around children. Speaks. Gypsy. I do too. And I think it's coming up where he addresses a little bit more to CP, and I'll be completely honest. He says, I wish I could beat it out of you. And I get that feeling of a parent, right? When you have a feeling, I get that feeling of a parent, right? When you have a feeling of who's harmed your child, and he has a feeling, he says it. The anger, right? The
was in
anger.
that community and went missing in that community. And the law enforcement agency in that community is so corrupt. And yet nobody's turning around and saying anything about it because the corruption is so thick and amazing. You can't even spell his name correctly. So you don't know, and you're right. It's a D-I-C-K. It's Crad Dick, but that's not how you spell his name, Joe Mama. So why don't you, Joe Mama? And I only had him 4 days out of the month. I had him 4 days every other week. I had him every other weekend. Okay. And some of you people just don't seem to understand that with my work, I'm off every other weekend. So every other weekend when I had him, I wasn't at work. Y'all are fools. Some of y'all can't even get the information right. And we're going to put an end to that. Sure will. I got a lawsuit coming up soon. And I hope you're there, Chris. I hope your mom is there too. I hope you bring your wife, bring your whole family, because I need a picture of your whole family so I can go ahead and make sure I got all the reports for your family. Because believe me, I have reports on your family. But I'll tell you right now, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. Y'all did something to my son. Too many comments has come out of your mouth, Chris, that states otherwise. Well, if I wish I had known that before this happened. What do you mean you wish you had known this before this happened, Chris? Conversations that go on between me and my son are between father and son, not father and son and some douchebag that his mother married. It had nothing to do with my son being conceived, born, breastfed, raised, or anything else. All you did was invade his life and make it a living hell, which I'm kind of finding you do for a lot of people. They're flocked together. So, all the information and stuff that I have received about your family, not just your mother and her current husband, man, those ties must run real deep in Sumner County for all the things he's been charged of and never went to jail for. Same thing with your mother.
Boom.
I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of your mother. About your family, not just your mother and her current husband, man, those ties must run real deep in Sumner County for all the things he's been charged of and never went to jail for. Same thing with your mother.
Boom.
I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of your mother. I'm not scared of your stepfather. I'm not scared of anybody in your family. Y'all can show up at my house at any point in time. I'll step outside. And I'll beat where my son's is out of you. And I'll beat where my son's is out of you.
Boom.
And I'll beat where my son's is out of you.
Boom.
Because I know that you have something to do with it, Chris.
Boom.
I know that you have something to do with it because of the stuff that you've said to me. The things that you have opened your mouth and stated on YouTube interviews, on regular interviews. You guys are so fake. I understand that you don't care about Sebastian. I understand that you don't care about me. But I care about Sebastian, and he should be with me right now.